make another physics video. I found some more comments, so I got a half an hour on here. Might as well use it up. Yeah, just it is annoying. I mean, I'm not getting any counter arguments that mean anything, but you know, what the hell. I didn't figure that the internet would be able to produce that. Yeah, because we know the people running the internet, these commenters, these guys deciding what makes it or doesn't make it, are assholes. Anyway, Ronald Harper, a perfect example of just a troll. This is humorous then serious. Great sentence. Photons don't make up for change or power of force. Power of force. Well, that's an interesting little play on words, isn't it? There is no force. Where's E equals mc squared? Where in there is a force? There's no force. Okay? Force doesn't have any power. Power. No power. No. What's happening is the interaction between things changes the direction of energy. Releases energy in directions. That's what force can do, is move the direction of the energy. A body meets another body. The gravity can pull it and change its direction, and it can still go, you know, if it doesn't get captured as an orbital, it'll have its direction changed. So the force didn't exercise any energy, it just changed something's direction, which means, yes, if now the bullet's pointed at you, you're going to see a change in energy. But there was no change in energy. The same energy went in as went out. You cannot attribute that to matter. I don't know exactly how I'm attributing it to matter. Nowhere in my statement, nowhere in my items have I attributed anything to matter. I'm saying matter's made up of energy, okay? Physical, real energy, still moving the speed of light, and that's the only thing that matter really represents, is what happens when energy is consolidated, okay, instead of free. Not complicated. It's the condensation of energy. Matter is the condensation of energy. Can you understand that, Ronald? This is failed argument. Says who? You. Oh, gee. I should be impressed again. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. No, you're a slandering, lying, motherfucking cunt weasel who didn't make an argument here, who didn't say anything that means anything. You're just a weasel. You're a fucking weasel. You're a coward. Okay? A preposterous coward. Why don't you show your face? Why don't you make a motherfucking video and demonstrate that you somehow have the authority to judge this theory? Show me your expertise. Show me your knowledge. Show it. Or shut up. No, you won't do that, because that would require you to have character, and you have no character. You're a ballless, dickless, whiny little weaselly petty cunt. Yeah, and I've defeated you once again. Alright, very evil petting zoo. So these are just stupid names, right? Dunning-Kruger, I highlighted it just for fun. And arrogant fruitcake equals this. So somehow, you know, so if you learn something on your own, you know, as Einstein sort of did to some respects, or you do your own research, you do whatever, blah, 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 you're just Dunning-Kruger. So, and there's no point in anybody like Mendel or any guy trying to do something or think of something, because they're just going to get Dunning-Kruger, right? I mean, especially if they don't succeed. Oh, well, then we'll just humiliate them and throw stones at them. Okay, giving it the good old college try. No, fuck that. Fuck people trying to do anything on this goddamn planet except what the fucking authorities say so. When the authority says so, when the priest tells you what to think and say and be and do, you do what the priests say, and nobody has the right to raise their hand and say, hey, I think they might have it wrong. Because you'll Dunning-Kruger them and call them fruitcakes. With no evidence, no argument whatsoever, you'll just insult them. You'll just ridicule them for giving it the old college try. Because you're a cunt, a weasel, you're dickless, tiny, tiny, tiny penis, no doubt about it. I mean, that's what this is all about. These people just, they're humiliated by their tiny penises, and this is all they can do to make up for it. Alright, the Q rabbit. So maybe this is the quantum rabbit. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. He's got a cat as an icon, so that makes a lot of sense. Is this drug-induced? Gee, I mean, the drug jokes are just so fucking old. I mean, that's like Internet 1942. Fuck, get with the program. Because that is the only way an otherwise sane person would come up with garbage like this. So I did play the Feynman video where, you know, people came up with garbage, you know, and then they found, okay, you can't go with that garbage because of this rule, and if you did a little tiny bit of thinking, oh, you realize, gee, wait a minute, that doesn't work. And it's like the Einstein thing, right? Einstein, I ended the last video with the Einstein quote, the Einstein riding the light beam is a metaphor, and Einstein observing what happens to the world as he does that. And what Einstein should have done was he should have thought about what happens to his matter. Okay, he should have thought about what happens if electrons or photons are just trapped. What would happen as you accelerate them? That all of those eccentric motions have to be pulled out. All the knots have to be made straight. So as you approach the speed of light, the matter disintegrates and turns back into energy. And that is exactly what is observed in reality. We see it in the sun, we see it in nuclear bombs. I mean, you know, people are talking like photons aren't real. It's just so funny because, yeah, obviously photons are one of the most real thing. You know, they're produced, they are the expression of energy in the universe. If there's energy in the universe, photons are making it energetic. Duh. I mean, damn, you know, you people really are really profoundly stupid. Alright, so we'll read, I didn't realize there was comments on this skanky cunt whore bitch video. Let me just see if there's any new ones. So I will, you know, read the more slanders. So, I mean, you know, this is just trash talk from trashy people. So conference report, who is a professor, right? Supposed to be some sort of educated person. And this is his response. He doesn't go to the content, doesn't judge anything I said or wrote, okay? Just going based on her skanky whore video. Sounds a bit like proto-physics of Epicurus and Lucerus. Yeah, so again, it's just ridiculing anybody who does anything. Anybody who theorizes who isn't conference report is an asshole doing pseudoscience, proto-physics. They're all way back there, and he's just such a forward guy with his little stunt videos, right? His little, I'll do the ice bucket thing in my underwear, and I'll have piercings put in my face, and then I'll shove things through them and pretend I'm actually doing it, and I'll smash my finger with a can of dog food. When you know the physics, right? He knows the physics, and he's just pretending to make it seem like he's doing something impressive when, yes, of course, he's not. But that's it. It's all stunt. So he lives by the stunt. And this guy is going to ridicule somebody else's physics or their science or their integrity when he just makes stunt videos. Oh, yeah. Interesting pre-scientific attempts to use a common-sense native realism approach to fundamental physical principles. Well, if that's a crime, if it's a crime to say, well, gee, why does water go downhill? Oh, let's see, it's gravity? Oh yeah, just gravity pushes it down. Oh yeah. Yeah, to find out some kind of logical reason why something happens. You're saying there's something fundamentally and intrinsically wrong with that approach. To sit there and say there's a non-God explanation and there might be a very simple, crude mechanism that creates the complexity, like evolution. Have you heard of evolution? Well, there's this theory of evolution, which basically states that a fucking molecule, barely contained in a membrane, somehow, through some magical mechanism, was able to lead, because of just crude forces, into creating sophisticated sentient minds with billions of neurons and synapses and all kinds of chemistry. More complex chemistry than anywhere else in the universe. Have you heard of that? Or do you think God did it? I know I'm probably taking your video too seriously. Sorry about that. Smiley face, double smiley face, or winky face, smiley face. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's in quotes and then a smiley face. So I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I mean, if you take her videos seriously, like I said, she's a lying, slandering piece of shit with no integrity. So yeah, you want to take a troll's word for it, then I guess that makes you kind of a troll. No need to apologize. Everyone is free to take this video either as comedy or serious, because it's both. Oh, is that what it is? It's serious ridicule of the argument made about some fundamental principle for which you're not counter-arguing in any way whatsoever, but just to say the authorities say you're wrong. God doesn't like your opinion. That's all you're doing. Yeah, most people believe in angels. That's the truth. That's all you're doing. You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, you can't be ashamed, because that would require you to have fucking integrity and ethics, and you don't have any of that shit because you're a nihilist, glib, motherfucking Nietzsche-Randian motherfucking cunt. Skanky cunt. Yes, it sounds a bit like proto-physics of, with the difference that they philosophize that everything is made out of atoms, the smallest particles that can be divided by anyone, not photons. Well, again, they did fairly well for their day, so again, I don't even see any point in bringing up these people who did pretty good, considering thousands of years ago they got more answers right than the average human walking the earth right now. If somebody goes watching the most popular quantum physics video on YouTube called Dr. Quantum, it's full of absolute bullshit. It is pre-scientific, that's why is several thousand years out of date, LOL. Well, like I said, I mean, what credibility does physics have anyway if physicists don't do anything to correct Dr. Quantum video? They don't feel any obligation to allow a video to get a cartoon to get millions of views that totally misrepresents the science. I mean, frankly, if I was a member of an organization and allowed that to happen, it'd be a pretty lame organization. So, McNuts, I guess this is the guy Warbles was talking about. Well, he will need to publish his work in a peer-reviewed journal. Well, you know, if you go look up these peer-reviewed journals, you have to be affiliated with a university and blah, 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 and all this bullshit. Now, yeah, I can't do that. So I'm gonna like Galileo or any of these other people, I'm gonna publish a book, and that's what a video essentially is, right? I've published a statement, I've made an argument in video. I think these other scientists in the past, they probably would have done the same thing. Like Darwin even, I'm gonna publish a book. Okay, I'm gonna publish my statement, my argument. Now, whether the peer review people feel obligated or not is going to depend on a lot of circumstances I don't have any control over. Alright, but yeah, maybe I can pay people, right? I can do one of those little thingies that you make money doing, Patreon thingy or some kind of bullshit, and I can raise a little bit of money, and maybe we can get $1,000 together or $2,000 together, and I can pay a noted physicist to analyze my argument and point out where it's completely impossible for it to be accurate. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? I would find it very interesting, so maybe I'll do that. That is where it starts, that is. Well, it says you, so you're the authority. A guy named McNuts 2, he can't even McNut the original, probably got banned, that's why he's 2, after you actually do the work. Well, like I said, I have done the work in the sense I've been thinking about this two-slit crap and this quantum crap for about 4 years. And yes, I finally discovered where they were getting it wrong. So yeah, now I've got it right. So what do you want me to tell you? You're not proving me wrong. You're just, again, maligning, nitpicking, naysaying, and insulting. Why? Because you believe in authorities. Oh, okay. Still, the publication in a recognized peer review is well beyond him. Well, again, and should it be? I mean, I'm probably, in this corner of YouTube, I'm probably the expert on the two-slit experiment, because I've probably read more material and analyzed more different two-slit experiments conducted than anybody you know, Big Nutty. So why should it be beyond me? I wonder if he will ever understand how funny this actually is. Well, if I'm proven right, okay, will you get Dunning-Kruger tattooed on your forehead? I mean, what will be the fair exchange? You've done the insulting, you've done the ragging, you've printed the slanderous Star Magazine ugly photo. Now, when you find out that was inaccurate and wrong, what are you going to do to correct for it? I just want to hear what your apology is going to sound like. Because, we know that's not worth anything. Your page 10 retraction isn't worth anything. What are you going to do to make up for it, McNutty? Oh, that's right. Absolutely nothing. All right. Then here's 2 in the morning. Well, let's be honest. It's really funny. Whether he will understand that is another matter. So she thinks she knows physics because she thinks it's impossible for a photon not to move in a straight line. There's no mechanism, no way it's possible that photons could possibly move in any kind of curved direction. Theoretically, it would be an analyzed, curve. I mean, it would be a 1 step right, 1 step forward, 1 step right, so it had that starry little edge to it. But the idea is we still know what it's doing. Okay, whether the circle is made of a bunch of little squares doesn't really matter. Biker man. Ooh, yeah, he's fat and stupid looking for sure. I have avoided comment on this character because A, I don't want to complicate situations involving people with special needs and or mental illness. Well, you're fat and ugly and stupid, and I bet you can't make a fucking reasonable argument on any subject whatsoever. That need help from people far more expert in the relevant fields. Oh, so it's another guy dependent on the expert. So let's go ask the Pope what the truth is. He's the expert, isn't he? Then myself and I could probably possibly achieve would be to compound their delusions. Yeah, whatever. Let's go. I'll have to go look this guy up later, right? I mean, let's see what his videos sound like. I don't particularly want to support the hyper troll character who create a whole virtual life, presumably to fill the void of their actual existence. So I don't even know where you got that from. So every guy who's an advocate for something, if Martin Luther King was on the internet, well, gee, he's just creating a virtual life. Since I've never been sure, and I still am not sure which of these two amendum is, so I don't even know what that is. Okay, which one of these two things, A or B? I'm either crazy or a hyper troll character. I figure best to leave well alone. Yeah, well, you didn't even type that right. I figure best to leave well alone. It's well enough alone. Anyway, the only reason to comment here is that, yes, you're a motherfucking troll who just slanders people on the internet. Oh, got it. You have such big balls and such a big penis. Biker man. Yeah, you have such guts that you can't even make a fucking argument. All you can do is insult. Oh, gee, like nobody can do that, fatty. Smelly, tiny dick little weasel. Oh yeah, nobody can do insulting. No, that's really difficult. No, it's really easy. Fuck for brain. No elaboration is required or will be offered. If he ever submits for publication, then he will earn the right to have people give him their valuable time. So you only earn the right by getting Richard Dawkins or somebody else to appreciate your work. If you don't get the authorities to agree with what you're doing, you have no right. You have no right to self-publish. You have no right to make an argument and say, give me a rational counter-argument. You have no right to ask people like Biker Man to make a rational counter-argument. I think I do. I think I'll exercise it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Give them their valuable time to explain why it is crap. So he knows it's crap, and he knows the authorities knows it's crap, and he knows it all because he knows it all because he's biker man with tiny, 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 tiny penis. I don't feel any such obligation. Right, so you slander people, you mock them, ridicule them, malign them based on absolutely no evidence. Nothing. You haven't read what they wrote, you haven't heard their video, you just spout it because you're a weasel and a liar and a cunt. Yes, get what you deserve in life, okay? Get accused by a woman of rape or something. That's exactly what you deserve. Wrongly. I hope you get fucked royal. It's what you deserve, liar. You're gonna lie about people? You're gonna malign people based on absolutely not one shred of evidence provided? Not one single shred, not one quote from me to prove this delusionalness. Not one reference to a video that you have somehow argued and demonstrated me to be stupid or retarded or malicious in my motives or a hyper troll. Nothing. For me also, the phenomenon that was difficult to fathom. I have been looking for an explanation for it. yes, I'm a phenomenon. Lately, I have found it very plausible one. The videos I have added lately to my list of videos, anti-evilism, talking about narcissism and NPD, narcissistic personal... That's what you have, you crazy bitch! You're the one who thinks your consciousness is special. You're the ones who can't figure out that sentience is in the other beasties are sentient and feeling. So I think you're the narcissist who's put yourself on a higher pedestal because you can add some numbers together and almost speak broken English, and therefore you deserve more care. You're the fucking insane, egomaniacal crazy fuck who thinks they can torture sentient beings for their own gratification. You're the narcissist, crazy bitch. The signs of pathological narcissism are all over the videos of Amendum. Well, you say so. Why don't you prove it? Why don't you show a sign of this? Add that to the risk avoidance disability, and he... Oh, I'm not going to read all this crap. Come on. And he announced that he has... Well, again, so you're just going to bring up my personal anxiety disorder, which, again, is totally irrelevant. The content of his video strongly reminds me of Kant's philosophy. Well, that doesn't even make any sense, right? I mean, who's the Kantian is butt-face retard. You know, that guy. Holiday. Holiday's the Kantian, you retard. And we couldn't have more of a diametrically opposing argument, can we? Oh, no, you can't. Especially the categorical imperative that Kant has posited. Well, obviously it's a categorical imperative that's not based on a real category. The category is, what do selfish bastard want? That to me is not a relevant category. I don't even care about the category. What does a selfish bastard want? It's not a real category in like a rational person's world. That's not a rational category. Well, I'm not going to keep reading. I mean, this is just more slander. You know, you have a skanky cunt. No doubt you probably have herpes. You're probably, you must have some sort of issuing. Your cunt probably issues constantly. You know, a horrible, disgusting pus. And you probably molest children too. Anyway, Ida Mida Dot. So this guy's always been an asshole. He's a quantum loopy tunes. He believes in multiverses. So yeah, of course he's going to try some slander too. After a brief look at this, it's clear that it violates many established equations in physics, such as the Lorentz transformations and countless others. Well, the Lorentz transformations are based on special relativity, and yes, it changes special relativity because it points out that the space doesn't dilate, the matter deconstructs. So you get the same end result. Okay, if matter deconstructs, well then it's not going to have its same timing cycle anymore, right? So if you have a radioactive element and you change the structure of the atoms by moving them, you're going to change the timing cycle of their emission of a photon. You can't figure that out? The photon is not the only massless particle. Well, again, Einstein, the guy, these Lorentz transformations are built on his special relativity. Wouldn't say they're massless. Gluons and the so she's going to start bringing up gluons. Let's see, the strong color force. Well, the color force. They came up with a word like color, but it's color force. And also, this is Susskind kind of bullshit, which also predicted by quantum field theory. Quantum field theories. Now we have the special field theory of quantum mechanics, right? So how many qualifications are you going to make to specialized model dynamics that are based on completely unproven science? Although gluons, I mean, why don't you talk about the tunneling microscope and talk to me about how you're seeing real atoms and that it's not just CGI atoms. You people are just amazing. Although gluons and photons are both massless, spin 1 bosons, gluons are not photons. Well, yeah, and we all know that if you smash enough of this shit together, there certainly is circumstances where if you smash an electron into an anti-electron, or an anti-proton, well, regardless, all you get is a ton of energy. And what's the energy in the form of? Oh, that's right, photons! Oh, what a surprise! So all the mass is converted into photons. Now, isn't that curious that the M would equal exactly all just photons? A complete release of all photons. Nothing else is released. No other energy. Just photons. E equals mc squared. I mean, it can't be more obvious. Alright, anyway. Is not sufficient. Okay, so here we go. Get this one. Only quantum chromodynamics can describe quarks, gluons, etc. The photon is not sufficient to describe the strong force. Well, I don't know if I said the photon. I didn't say the photon. Okay, so again, it's a million photons, maybe a million photons in an electron, maybe more. E equals mc squared. C squared times the speed of light squared photons are in atoms. You don't get that? Or the weak force for that matter. The photon is, however, fundamental to physics insofar as it is the mediator of the electrodynamic force. Well, electromagnetic force. Well, that's exactly. How am I not saying that's what photons are doing? Photons are interacting with electrons. Electrons are producing photons. Photons are hitting other electrons, creating all the movement in atoms, all the jiggle, all what we call the heat. It's all created by photons. Photons banging around in a frictionless environment where E has to equal E in the end. Energy in has to be energy out, and if the energy doesn't go out, then it has to stay in the thing it went in. Yeah, I know all of that. There's nothing in my theory that counters that. So again, you're just a frickin'... After a brief look at this, I will slander you. I will put words in your mouth that you never said. I will claim that you're saying that the strong and weak forces are made out of, mushroom pie. It's not what I said. I'm saying the force is a mechanical structure, but that's a whole nother... Like I said, I can make this argument. You're not going to be... You won't even give this 9 stupid bullet points. You won't even give fair judgment. If I make a 2-hour video explaining to you all the different structures that can exist inside of an atom made out of photons that will hold the atom together, are you going to watch it? God, you people just suck so bad. Good to see you back. Fuck you. I think Neil Adams explaining Earth theory deserves a shot too, or the time cube guy. So again, just compare them all, call them all homeless, ranting idiots, so everybody who isn't one of your authorities doesn't know what they're talking about. Nobody can have an opinion challenging the authorities. I mean, gee, you couldn't be much more of a sheeple religious cunt, could you? Jesus said so. Nobody think about anything more. We've already got the answer. Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell us what the truth is, and nobody can have a disagreeing opinion. Yeah, he was really right about that whole Pluto thing, wasn't he? Oh, yeah, quite brilliant. Oh, it's not a planet. Well, except it's got moons now, which, well, sort of makes it look like a planet. Anyway... Adam has a series of popular YouTube videos you can watch here. So he's posting videos to what he's claiming are pseudoscience. So he's doing that for some reason. Why would you post videos to videos you think, why would you post links to videos you think are pseudoscience? Why would you do that? That's kind of stupid. Even though it may seem funny that someone could have an idea so contrary to established science. Adam takes it very seriously. Notably, he doesn't work inside the scientific community, but instead as a comic book artist. Amazing. And I think his status as outsider is probably one thing that prevents him from... Oh, Jesus. So again, you won't even judge what I'm saying. I have to now defend... It's like the communist argument, right? All communists are Stalin. So if you can't defend Stalin, you can never defend communism. All socialists are Stalin. Let's just upgrade it one notch. So any socialist, if you can't defend Stalin, you're not allowed to be a socialist. That's all these assholes are saying. I'm not allowed to have an opinion because as soon as I have an opinion, I'm Neil Adams. And if I can't defend this crackpot, then I am out of luck. I mean, it's just such a ragged, lousy, stinking way to interact with the human race. You sit there and discourage people who are actually using their brain to do something other than watch football fucking goddamn games, and this is how you treat them. People who don't waste their time making fucking watching football games are putting an argument on the table and say, give me a counter argument, you fucking ballless, dickless cunt. They're saying it right to your face. Give me a counter argument, okay? Not a counter insult, you fucker. Do you have the balls? Do you have any kind of micro penis? Can't your micro penis sing into your ear? Oh, maybe you ought to give it a shot to actually make a real argument. Dickless. Jesus Christ. Mendham, who claims to speak for the little man. Where have I ever claimed to speak for the little man? She put it in quotes, the little man. Where? Show me one place I've ever said the words, the little man. All these men with little penises, yeah, fuck them. Alright? Because they're all fucking sadistic lunatics, okay? They've been psychologically owned by their micro penises. They're petty weasels who can't make a fucking rational argument and have to gain ego points by throwing mud on the internet. That's how small their penises are. And that's how skanky your cunt is. So like the fucking gravity equations, you know, there's a proportional relationship between how skanky your cunt is and how micro their penises are. Alright. He could have gained a Nobel Prize of some sort for his emendum physics and emendum cosmology if the Nobel Committee had also a golden raspberry kind of award section. So again, that's a counter-argument. You somehow now prove that no, matter is not made of energy still moving the speed of light. You proved it. Oh, gee. And not just and not just in physics and cosmology department, in many other fields too. So the Nobel Prize Committee actually makes fun of their own prize? Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. Who can forget the discoveries of the emendum anthropology concerning human evolution and diet? Who can forget? Yeah, and exactly how was I wrong? Oh, yeah, meat doesn't turn directly into sugar, but yes, cooking meat does degrade the proteins, which makes it more metabolizable. My mistake, I shouldn't have said converts it to sugar. He single-handedly disproved all current theories. Oh, and that's as far as you go, right? So you're not going to again quote something I've said to demonstrate how I'm full of shit or wrong. You're just going to say it, right? So you think human beings, unlike every other simian, unlike every other great ape, okay, only the superhumans millions of years ago were chasing down squirrels and eating them. Yeah, monkeys don't do that. Okay. No, there's no real point, right? Yeah, there's no real point. How much time do I have left? None. Okay. I was going to get to the Warbles comments, but I'm out of time, so I can't do that. I'll have to do that next time. Disappointing so far. So far, not one rational counter-argument, right? You got to concede. Not one rational counter-argument. I mean, the one guy made some arguments about gluons and peons and fuckons and duons, but who the fuck cares, okay? I'm not talking about any of those things, am I? No. Am I changing any of those things? No, except I'm changing what they're made out of, which